look, this does not look as if it is improving by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, things are getting pretty nasty at this point.
And there were huge hopes that Operation Prosperity Guardian, as it's called, which is a multinational security effort led by the US Navy, would do a lot to allay some of the fears. And Maersk was actually one of the shipping companies that decided to continue with this route, having paused it at the end of last year. Now, since Sunday, it's had to issue another 48-hour pause. And that's because, as you said, it came under attack. And it was interesting. There was an aerial attack of some sort with an unknown object. And then 4 Houthi boats actually directly shot at it. 3 of them were then sunk by a US naval helicopter, killing all those on board. So it does feel like another escalation. Remains to be seen at this stage whether Maersk will decide they will redo this transiting route again. So we're waiting for a statement from them.
This is really worrying. I mean, we you know, the Gaza conflict, of course, has been sort of front and centre over the last sort of 100 days, and much talk about whether that conflict could slip outside of the region where it is, and this region of the Gulf. One of those, given that the Houthis have got involved here, and clearly this can have an impact on oil prices. We are seeing a spike at present. What can we expect, do you think, at this point?
There are a number of concerns here, for oil particularly. First of all, this is a really important route for oil tankers, of course, and some of them, like BP, are already taking the very long route around. There's also the big risk of escalation at this stage. You've had an Iranian naval warship entering the Red Sea in the last 24 hours. In response, I imagine, to what we are seeing in terms of the multinational effort to try and secure the transit route. So already you're seeing this, and I think the big question going forwards will be whether or not the US and its allies decide to continue to act in self-defence, or whether there'll come a point whether they are willing to attack Houthi positions in Yemen, which would be a significant escalation.
No, this is something. The region that, of course, we are normally based in the Gulf, in Abu Dhabi, keeping a real eye on at present. The oil prices have actually been relatively stable through the conflict in the Middle East. This is not something that people necessarily wanted to see at the beginning of the year. It's not clear why that Iranian vessel has moved into the Red Sea, but the surmise, as you have rightly suggested, is in response to this coalition of the willing to support the US